Yo guys, I'm HP, this is Dr. Pink, and today we're going to talk about classic hard rock guitars such in the style of Airborne, and Rose Tattoo, also a great example, which I personally love a lot. Also Swiss band Gotthard, from Swiss fans among you. And this is how it's going to sound. And we're going to be creative. And so on. It's going to be really cool, and we're going to build up the riff, which is very simple to play. It's also for beginners, I would say, and how to get creative, and that's the way really cool songs are done. You have something really simple and you make a so-called development arc, and we're going to develop a simple riff from something very simple to something really cool, and I'm going to show you the way how to do that. So let's get started. Okie dokie, I created a really cool backing track here with drum and bass, a really typical hard rock, classic hard rock backing track, also with old style production techniques. And it's really simple. At the beginning we have 8 bars of just G, and there we're going to create something really simple. The riff is something you probably know, it's just so you just play a G5 power chord, use palm muting technique. If you don't know it by now, you just put your hand down here around the bridge, and then you just, okay? And sometimes we make some highlighted chords, and you make a rotation out of the palm muted position. See? You just rotate out of the position, go back. So let's do now two notes just on the low E string, and then we attack the A and the D string. And with this rotation, you stay really calm, and then you can do. Or you can start to release the damping. You know, while you play it, you have to play really straight A notes, and then you start to release the damping position. And then we play this little single note line here, F sharp to G. With a little bit of harmonics, then you rotate your hand a bit. And that's basically, that's it. Let me put a little bit more far away that you can see everything properly. I switched off the guitar now that we only have drum and bass, that you can see how this whole thing works. It looks quite simple, but honestly it's not so simple, because you really have to be extremely steady here with your palm muted 8 notes, a 1 and 2, and also so you switch between damped and, as I already showed you, this rotation thing. And you need to kind of create a tension which goes, since we have a long part, just one chord, goes to the chorus, which is then E flat. You can take E flat power chord here, 6, 8, what I do to make it sound more, let's say, punchier, I add the low note as well, so we're playing 4 notes. and C. We do the same technique and take the C power chord and add the low note in. So let's do that. We want to build up the whole thing. Be creative. Also, when you have rock music, if you want to support the snare, like Airborne is only a trio, is well, 2 guitars, 1 bass and drums, and to give it more kick, try to also highlight count to, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So you support the snare drum, even you're playing the same thing all the time. You support the snare 1 and 2, or you also can do the rotation thing 1 and 2. So let's show you. Now we're going to the chorus. So, when you go to E flat, you can just lay it down, but if you want to push the beat more, then you just be creative in this process. Try to push the energy to the max. Listen to the snare, and the bass is pushing the whole beat, and listen to the whole thing and just push it. That's basically the technique how you do that. And don't think too well, that's my opinion. Don't think too much about licks. Think about the vibe, the color. You saw red. It's quiet, has a lot of power and energy, really. Okay, and then you're quite a lot on the path. At the end, I forgot. Well, at the end, I make a D7 sharp 9 here. 5, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 1, and 1, and 2, and 1. And then it continues. Good. So let's do this now. Quite cool, has really a lot of power. Good. Now we check out the second guitar. Why? Because to give the whole thing more punch, we need to create a counterpart to what we already have. We have the bass and the drum, and this first guitar doing one thing, just pushing the beat. Now we need to have a counterpart. The thing is also doing dum 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 dum, just doing that. So we need a counterpart that will be something like this. Oops. That's quite simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3. And then a little single note line at the end. And you will see how this pushes the beat out to the orbit. Okay, And you probably heard the two guitars that were in symbiosis and creating a whole vibe together, and that's how what is really cool. But now we want to push it more with the second guitar, as I said. So you do this single note lining with hammer on here, 3 5 3 5 3, and then second time you don't do it and let the other guitar do something. So you have this shift between the voices, and that makes a song sound really interesting. Then also we can, since guitar number 1 is just going in the chorus, just continues the beat and doing the chords. You make a lead down to the cosimiddle. You make something there. You make a lead down and gives some extra punch, and probably you just don't play immediately, but let me show you this. And at the end, you do these chords together. To finalize the first run, you have two voices which match with each other, and in the end you're synchronous, and then you go in the next round. But I think for today it's enough. You guys, I hope you enjoyed this little journey around in the world of classic hard rock guitar. That's the way you do. Rock is quite a easygoing genre. It's not too complicated, but these little things, they are the ones which make the difference between wow or how. In German we say top or flop. And really pay attention to the little details, and that's what it really makes. And rhythm guitar, even if you're the rhythm guy, doesn't mean you're playing the same thing all over again. You develop a tune while you play only 3 chords for 3 or 4 minutes. In this case, it's 3 minutes, but you start to develop the whole thing also with the tone and the attack, and you support the other instruments. So keep your ears open and try to get into the vibe I already mentioned. Red, a lot of power, a lot of oomph, I would say, and just give it as much oomph as possible and try to tell a story, even you're just playing 3 chords. And for guitar number 2, there are more possibilities to develop, but I don't want to make this tutorial too long. Keep it really simple on creative, classic hard rock guitar. One more to say. If you want to download this cool backing track here in order to practice the whole stuff, I would really recommend that, because it's way more fun. It's available in the HPCrazy Guitar Game, plus the tabs of the stuff I was talking about here. As PDF, also as guitar profiles, is also available there. If you love my channel, please subscribe to the channel. Please tell to the world that me and Dr. Pink are existing in order to support the work which we are doing for the guitar community. And please also become a premium member in order to do the same. That's all what me and Dr. Pink have to say. See you guys, and rock on, Gotthard, or whatever. Wayne's World, welcome.